All systems go. Clear for liftoff. What's up, everyone? Tyler Tamboline here, a.k.a. ToeTagginTambo, back for another edition of the Thursday Night Football Showdown show here on the YouTube station. SHIPIT Nation, baby. Hit that like. Make sure to subscribe. Got Hoopster from a new location. We got Title, and we're going to be breaking down all things for the Thursday Night Football game. We got Minnesota at the Chargers. Hoopster, you had to get out of the house, man. You got nonstop things going against you over there.
It's been a rough stretch at the home front. There's no doubt about that, and I'm not going to tell the entire story, but I think I told part of it where we had the water supply line leak from the fridge, kind of ruined the basement, ruined the hardwood floors. So they started. I'll give you the quick version. So they started working last week on the basement. The ceiling had to be replaced, some other stuff, the floors, and Mrs. Hoop was doing dishes on Monday night. It was right before the Lions game started. And she's like, why is the ground all wet down here? And looked down and the dishwasher was leaking. So there's a leak in the dishwasher. That did also make its way down to the basement. Luckily, they weren't finished with the job in the basement, so they're able to get that done. The floors were getting refinished today, and the guy didn't show up yesterday. Supposed to be done yesterday. He came today and started sanding about an hour ago, and the sander is very, very, very loud. So down at the neighbor's house in the basement.
Yeah. We'll give you all the information today. A lot of football information. That's acronym FBI. A little more FBI here that's different than the one showing up on Terry Rozier's doorstep. But Title, lots of big news in the NBA streets today. We're talking football. What's going on, my friend? How you doing?
Yeah, I talked some NBA on Tuesday. I had a couple NFL references. My mind's definitely NFL season. I'm locked in on NFL stuff. So I love it, all the sports. I'm playing college football. I played some golf in the golf streets, so I'm playing them all. But yeah, in my opinion, football takes reign of all of these sports. You only get it a couple times a week. The prizes are massive. And hey, there's nothing better than NFL. So they got the best product. But it's, hey, one sport, it's great. But when you can win money in a lot of other sports, NHL, MLB tomorrow, it's a great time of year. We'd love to have you at the Nation.
Yeah, NBA team's firing away right away. We got Bellman in there. We got BG Littleneck. And then, of course, the regular team with yourself, Rio, Ham, and everybody running it. But awesome to see our guy Brock Newsome with the 100K first night. Just bang right out of the gate. It was like 114K, actually, but he definitely shipped the main one. And then last night, a bunch of other winners. Our guy Scooter had like 6K here and something there. Bunch of ticket winners are starting to flood the streets. We always crush in the satellites, but check it out. I can't say it enough. People know we're biased, but Ship 19 gets you in for 5 days. Now is the time to join because you get Thursday night football, Sunday night, Monday night, the college football, the MMA, the NASCAR, the baseball playoffs, the NBA, everything else that I missed. It's all in there. So you guys can check that out. And then as Andrew mentions here, I don't know if it'll be you. I actually do know who it is, but it could be you. But we will be announcing winners number 24 and 25 in the SHIPIT game. So we're getting to that halfway point. There is 50 tickets out there to be won. We already have 23 winners that we've seen so far. Hoop did take the first L, and Andrew's hoping that he'll be the one to try and hand another. But Hoopster, only one L. Any rebuttal on that?
Yeah, Mr. Moorhead took me down, so I gotta cool the shit talking a little bit. I will still take my shots at Nade though. Nade's for week one. We'll continue on that path. Like he's still going to be a target any opportunity I get. That started the community in the wrong direction, but Mr. Moorhead stepped in and said, "Hey, I'm getting us back on track," and he did. But I did want to add one thing though about the NBA stuff, because I think it is important, because NBA is the one sport that if you are grinding, you need a home. Like you need a spot, and it's not just projections. It's not just ownership. It's not just core plays. It's not just whatever piece of content you're looking at. You got to have the community as well. And you see these failed contributors that get bounced from the spot they're working at, and they think they're going to start up a little mom and pop shop, and that's going to be enough for NBA DFS season. Not the case, man. Not the case. You need a home. You need a community. This is the spot. So don't get tricked into one of these little pop-up shops. Like, that's not the answer for NBA DFS.
Yeah, I tell you what, I need the Discord for sure. We got the Golden SHIPIT winner coming up. Make sure you guys smash that like. But last night, big 12-game slate like that or whatever, there was news popping off left and right. I got a little, I said I'm mixing my action over onto FanDuel a little bit with some of these cashback offers. I'm like, I'm just going to throw 50 lineups in the $15, forgetting like how much this thing comes at you quickly. And it's like, damn, if not for the Discord just constantly updating with everything, I would be completely lost. And even then, I think I got back like $500. I took a little bit of a loss, but then FanDuel kicks in the bonus. And I was like, okay, it's actually not that bad. You had a shot up there. Cooper Flag. I forgot guys with 2 O's in their names, and those could be zeros. He ended up with a double-double, but it was like a 10-10. And he started with, I think, 0 points in the first half, which kind of sucked after you see some of those guys like Edgecombe and that. But anyway, we're talking football. Like Title said, NBA's back, though. It's a lot of fun. You can check out our guys every day when they got the shows going for that. So I think it's Tuesday. What is it, Title? Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday?
Correct. Yep. Every non-NFL day right now. So Tuesday,
yeah, see,
Wednesday.
Title so zoned in. All right, Title, you're zoned in. I love it. Give us your grand scheme overview for the Vikings at the Chargers. We just got the Aaron Jones news before we hopped on. Let's get started on this Thursday night football slate.
Yeah, I'm glad we did get the Aaron Jones news for the show because it was important. Now with him back in the mix, it looks like Mason is overpriced. I'm glad DraftKings had no choice but to do it. If they had him $2K cheaper and Aaron Jones didn't play, he would have been mega chalk. But two guys in Mason and Aaron Jones that should be splitting the backfield look a little expensive for their role, but that also will keep both under 25% we have right now. And if they get in the box, like they clearly both have upside individually. It's just the opportunity cost when spending up in that range. Carson Wentz just a little more, McConkey, Keenan in that range. So, two pivots in the upper tier if you do want to go there. Captain ownership, I mean, it's pretty spread out. It's been pretty disappointing for my man Jefferson. Addison always has big play upside. Herbert, we know he can spread the ball around, has some sneaky legs upside. McConkey, Keenan, Johnson, Gadsden, Vidal. Like, I think captain is super difficult today. I will be spreading it out, but I like that. When you can spread it out a lot at captain, you don't need to play like awful plays, in my opinion, the 1%ers or whatever. Salary isn't nearly as tight as it was for that Falcons game. I think there's enough value on the slate. You can leave money. Really, whoever you like most, you can play and get way overweight at them at captain if you want. Diversify in the flex. I think this is a great, great showdown game with so many options on both sides.
Yeah, I'll go to Hoop here in a second, but just of note, Title, one thing the Stone shows is we always have the Captain Optimal on it. We always talk about the Stone. We get it, but it is really the best tool. You have everything you need in one place. And I like slates like this where there's so many spread out Captain Optimals because it shows like there's a bunch of different ways the slate can go. And you kind of want that when you're looking for unique lineups or you're looking to ship it, with a lesser crew. Shout out to my guy Sheets and Ranger. On Monday, we had a little 3-way. It was a 8-way chop, I believe, but I got lucky enough to be involved in that with Sheets, with Ranger. Wake up to all the love, so shout out to everybody there. But that I had a unique in 12th, and these are the types of slates you can find that we've had plenty of them to start the season. So Hoop, I'll kick it to you. Get your grand scheme overview, but there is a lot of captains you can use on this slate, and there's a lot of ways just to make it work without needing to find these needles in a haystack in some cases.
Yeah, I usually like to narrow it down a little bit at captain. I mean, I've gone all in on captains in the past multiple times and, played 2 or 3 captains. So that's what I usually like to do. I'm struggling with that, though, today because there just seems like so many viable options. So for me, it's a little bit of a struggle just because I know everyone's going to be spreading it out. Like, there's no doubt about it. And I think even the ownership that we're showing, I think gets spread out a little bit more. Let me pull this up real quick. I'm used to having the 2 monitors here down to 1, so it's a little bit of a struggle navigating through this. But we're showing Jefferson captain 17. I think everyone's 15 and below. All right, I don't think anyone's going to get like well above 15. So like, even if I think the one thing I would recommend, even if you are spreading it out and you're going to play a bunch of captains, make a stand on a couple, like get over on, maybe 2 or 3 that you like the best. And it's going to be easy to get over on the ones you like the best because the ownership should be pretty low everywhere you look. Like, we're showing it Herbert, Jefferson, Vidal, McConkey, Carson Wentz, Allen, Addison, Quentin Johnson, like in that order. So like, if your favorite is Quentin Johnson, we're showing 5%. You play 10%, Quentin Johnson, the captain, you're double the field. So I guess the one thing I would recommend, if you are spreading it out, which if people are building a lot of lineups, I anticipate most people spreading it out, make sure to take a couple stands within spreading it out.
Yeah, another thing I'll say too, and then Title, I'll kick it to you to start on your captain thoughts. Just the setup of being able to sometimes getting the leverage on the captains, like shrinking your pool, like Hoop was talking about there, is one way. But the chat talked about it a little. I'll hit on it a little further. But sometimes the other way you can go is to zone in on a build type. And that's what can help you condense down. Like if you say, okay, there's no magic number. Like I'm going to only play 5 captains tonight. I think if you're working on a certain portion of your game, like 20 max, you should be thinking about like, okay, if I had to choose X amount of captains, I can do it that way. You can spread it out, teach their own. But my point would be, if you like the balanced build tonight, well, then you're not going to be able to put every version of that with all the different captains. Some of those guys are more expensive at captain and are going to need some scrubs or some lower price guys in there. So I think another way to do it, Title, would be to go to, if you're on, Addison, Allen, Johnston, Gadsden, somewhere in that range, maybe you end up leaving out the quarterbacks and Jefferson. That could be tragic because those could be the 3 that are needed. But I'm saying at least then you'd have a different style of build, getting good leverage on those types of captains. Thoughts on that, and then everything else you want to talk about at captain.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's so many ways to go about this. Like a pretty close spread with 3, a lot of options on both sides. I'm going to be spreading it out. I do know that. I do know my favorite, to come to no one's surprise. The dude keeps burning me. It's Jefferson. I think he's one of the best receivers in football. Receiving prop 83.5. The next high is 56.5 in this game. We know DraftKings full point PPR dominates that stuff as well. He gets 100 and the touchdown. I think more than likely he's probably optimal with how much it's spread out on the other side. So he's my favorite. Addison at ownership too, I think is my second favorite. I'm just going to be betting on this Vikings pass game. I mean, man, Addison, both these guys are just so good, make each other so much better. And they have that one play, 60-yard touchdown upside. And he's showing to be very low owned too, or pretty low owned, 6% in the captain. And it gets you on a little different, I guess not really, but like Jefferson at 11.8, Herbert at 10.4, 2 guys that will get ownership up top. It's Ladd 7.6, Keenan 7.8, Johnson 8K, Addison 7.4. All of them going to get some ownership. Addison's my favorite of that range. And then I think I'm going to just keep going back to QJ Johnston. I think he has the most upside. I don't feel confident in though. Keenan was last week. McConkey ran pretty bad too. He could have easily had another touchdown, an extra 8 points. I'm hoping it's Johnston, but again, I prefer Addison. I prefer Herbert, and I prefer Jefferson over picking those other guys just because I'm not sure. It could be 1 touchdown to all 3 of them, or Gadsden, or Vidal can catch it, which I think has to put Herbert in play, especially when it comes to his legs. I think he's a really good captain too. So Herbert, or in order, Jefferson, Addison, Herbert. Looking at ownership at captain, those are my favorites. I will be mixing all the pass catchers, McConkey, even Gadsden, Keenan. When I'm playing 75+ teams, I think probably would be a mistake to X them.
Yeah, I think we'll see how the running back ownership goes tonight. But, even though people are seeing Aaron Jones come back, maybe that scares them a little bit off of Jordan Mason. And then the other thing is like Vidal. Well, he's obviously in what looks like a pretty good spot. It's also, with no Haskins, no everything. But the other spot is he's also 10-5 up top. Again, it's not like it's super expensive, but it's kind of people who are like, do I want to spend that? Or I can go to guys for just a little bit more, like McConkey, Allen, on the other side, Addison's only 11-1. Like you can get to these other guys pretty easily. So Hoop, where does that leave you at the captain spot? You talked a little bit about it earlier, maybe being tighter up top, but do you having a struggle trying to figure that out? Where are you at with it right now?
Yeah, I got a few options. Where's the 305, by the way? I'm curious on that. Do you guys know?
Mr. 305, Miami.
Yeah, where is it? Miami? Okay.
Yeah. Right. And also, do you know who that is? That's Gary with 5 Ys with the live final on Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a good day. Miami. Okay. Yeah. I wasn't 100% sure on that, but I thought that was the case. So, hey, congrats on the win, and you're in Miami, so you're doing well. The Herbert stuff's definitely interesting to me just because now it's like so many of these pass catchers. I mean, it could be Keenan, it could be Ladd, it could be Quentin, it could be the running back, it could be his new tight end Gadsden. So like so many different ways that so many different guys he can throw the ball to. I think you have to consider him for that reason. But a couple that I like, and Title mentioned them, definitely one is Quentin Johnson for sure. Like 2 weeks ago, this was, this would be a slate where everyone's just playing Quentin Johnson up top because he was kind of going off. Now that they have so many different guys, like seems like people don't want to play him. We're showing 5% up top. He can break the slates. We've seen it. So I do like him. And then on the Viking side, I really like Jordan Addison up top, like coming off a 12 target game. Obviously I don't know what he had, a suspension or something to start the year, but 9 for 128 last week, scored, 25 fantasy points and didn't find the end zone. So he can obviously go off. I'm good with Jefferson. I'm good with Keenan Allen. I'm good with Ladd. I'm good with the tight end, Vidal. There's so many different guys to play. So, like, who are the guys that I want? It does no good just naming off all the guys I want to play because there's a lot of them. So who do I want to get a little overweight on? Quentin Johnson's definitely one, especially if that 5% holds, which I think it will. Jordan Addison right there, 5-6%, like easy to get overweight on Addison. I think he's a really good play. And then Herbert, I want to be in on as well, more than the field. And that one could be a little challenging because it does look like, he's going to be maybe the highest owned. We're showing 17. Saber has 15. And that kind of looks like the industry standard, somewhere in between like 15 and 17. I think it's going to be more on the 15 range, more on the 15% side, just because there's so many different guys to play. You could even, we haven't really talked about it, but like if you wanted to play Hawkinson, if you wanted to go, Jordan Mason's going to be way down there. Aaron Jones is probably going to be unowned. The one I will say that's getting ownership that I will not be playing is Carson Wentz, and I feel fine with that.
Yeah, I think the Herbert one's got to be the cash game spot there, doesn't it, Title? Like that's not really giving anything away. It's pretty obvious. He's got a million guys he can pass to. He's very affordable for a quarterback at 15.6. We just saw him get made fun of plenty, actually, in the Discord on Sunday, that he was horrible and Mahomes was doing it. And then, no, he was not. It was actually Herbert, and it was actually Bo Nix in the end and guys like that. But Herbert did not even need a full game either and still came through and got 30-something points because he can just hit these guys. And you mentioned it too, like Ladd, that drew his arms in the end zone near the end of the game for like another opportunity. It just would have got even more extended. So that's the thing. But at the same time, when that makes sense because there's so much value you can play with it. But I think it's interesting for picking your spot is if you want to say it's not going to get a spread out this time. So therefore, I'm going to go with more Ladds, more Keenans, more Quintons, and do it that way. The other thing is like the Gadsden stuff. He's not getting that many. He's not getting that again, most likely, but people forget he doesn't need to get that game again. So just keep that in mind when you're going to him. You can say, oh, it's horrible. They're chasing, whatever. It could feel that way, but just like we saw with, who was it? Oh, get the Dodo, Rico Dowdle. It's like, oh, he's not getting 200 again, but he doesn't need to get 200 again. Oh, wait, but he is getting 200 again, and then they decide to sit his ass and watch what 1.8 yards per carry looks like with Chuba Hubbard. But either way, Title, I'll go back to you. I don't have too much else to add. I guess my thing is like the Mason Vidal stuff. Vidal to me is squeezed. Like it just has to be. And I know he's showing like around 10, 11, like somewhere in that range, but lots of people are going to love Herbert, and then it will get spread out. But I think people are much more likely to go to Ladd and Allen, at least, if not Quentin, right there with Vidal, because it just sort of builds it out the same way and you feel good about those guys. I don't know. Where do you think Vidal lands? Because he's a guy I've got interest in as of right now, as someone who's different that's not being fully mentioned.
Yeah, both those running backs I was curious and interested in because they leverage off so much stuff, like the passing game. If it's Jordan Mason rushing in too, that's Jefferson, that's some Wentz ownership, that's Addison, like that's so much captain ownership that is not getting those 6 points or double. And same with the Vidal side, Herbert. Like if there's 2 rushing touchdowns on either side, man, then you could be looking at a unique build. So I just think for that reason alone, like if Vidal doesn't have much competition at all behind, he leads the game with the plus 130 TD prop. Mason's number 2 at plus 145. Vidal can catch some passes out of the backfield. Mason not so much, which is why it's a little tougher and with the price, but I think that'll make his ownership even lower, like 52.5 rushing prop. Plus 145. He probably needs to get in the box twice. But if he does, it's a 44.5 total. That's not very big. I think I'm talking myself more and more on some of these running backs just for the sheer fact of it gets you on a completely different roster construction.
Yeah, we saw our man Gary down in Miami. And now Oliver knows a good dad joke here. Living La Vida Loca. Like that one. And you know what rhymes with 6-7? Club 11. And that's in Miami as well. If you've never been, it's a good spot. I can tell you that much. But can get you into a lot of trouble as well. So just noting that. But there's 6 to 7 options, I'll say, at the captain tonight easily, if not more. So lots of different ways you can go. But the Vidal thing stands out to me. The other thing is, this is always interesting to me, is like the projection, the median projection is going to come in lower because it's split amongst everybody and the market shares and all that. But his ceiling is pretty solid. And again, you can kind of build really easily with him at 10-5 at the captain and then be able to fit a lot of different options in and around him. And I know the chat mentioned it earlier, and we're going to get to running back here shortly, but like Nyheim Hines is $200 on this slate if you want to go that route, but you could easily play Vidal and Nyheim Hines. It's 7,200 in the flex. It's 10-5. What is it? 10-7 if you go Vidal captain and Hines in the flex, like however you want to look at it. There's definitely ways that you can do that. So I think there's a lot of different ways you can go. Title, anything else to add at quarterback then outside of the captain coverage we went through? Anything just in general at quarterback?
No, I'm kind of with Hoop. Like, it's really hard for me to see Carson Wentz. It's not impossible, and we saw Flacco and Rodgers absolutely throw it back. And I mean, you needed Jamar Chase on that slate, but Herbert just has way more options to spread it around. Unless Josh Oliver's catching one and Hawkinson, and it's really hard for me to see it. So it's hard for me to get to Wentz at captain.
Yeah. And Jordan said this, shout out to Jordan, joined us on the Takedown Breakdown on Monday. It was awesome to hear from him and see him. Been with the community since day one. Awesome guy. Says, how is Vidal solo owned? He's the only guy yet. The thing is, though, he's not being thought of as the only guy they have. You're talking from a running back perspective right now. That feels that way, yes. But everybody else sees Gadsden's big game to go with McConkey, Allen, QJ. And also many are saying it is Trey Harris night, which we'll get to when we go to wide receiver.
What's the ownership though? Like what's so low about the ownership, I guess?
Well, I mean, if he does stand around the most places and us have him at 10 to 11% at captain.
Captain, yeah.
And so there's fair. 90% is not really on him. And like you said, if it spreads out even further, like if Herbert comes down.
So many guys though. I mean, that's just going to happen. Like there's no way anyone's going to be massively owned. So I don't know that number wasn't too. Why were you surprised by that number? I wasn't very. I thought that's kind of where it would be.
I don't know. Maybe he's talking overall. Like I'm just saying to me, if you put everybody in the chat right now and said list your top 5 captains, I don't know how high he shows up on that list when you've got Herbert, Jefferson, Addison. All I've seen the chat talk about is pass catchers and Herbert. So it's like you're not and the Mason thing got dumped water on because of the Aaron Jones news and pricing and everything. So Vidal, I think, may come in as like the 5th highest owned captain by the end of it. We'll see. I still truly feel like people will pay 11-4 or 11-7 for Ladd and Allen before they pay 10-5 for Vidal. We'll see.
It's all going to be like within a couple percentage points, most likely. Sure. Like it's all going to there's going to be a lot like that group of guys is going to be between like 5 to 10. Like, and I think Jefferson and Herbert outside of that group above all those guys. And then everyone else, the pass catchers, they're all going to be in that range, like some way, shape, or form. And like you said, if you ask people to list their top 5, it's going to be some variation of those guys. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. My take is more like if you put a rating system on it, I think he's gets just naturally. I just think people think more.
I think he's a phenomenal play. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think he's a great play on this slate. I mean, they have nobody else. I mean, is that the same Nyheim Hines?
Yes.
When did he add the Miller in?
Don't even want to go there.
Really?
I don't know.
There's a story?
No, I'm saying there. Oh. I know what you're thinking, and I don't know.
No, I'm just saying, like, when did he change his name? That's all. I'm not thinking. I'm just curious, like, because he was never
always there.
No, was it? It was just Nyheim Hines.
It doesn't even say it on Google when you type it in.
Yeah, it was always just Nyheim Hines. Now I thought it was a different
sometimes goes by the name. The Miller is part of his full name, which sometimes is used in official sources. So when
I first looked today, I thought it was a different dude. I did the content. I was like, who is this Miller Hines guy at 200? I didn't look at his first name.
Same Colts guy.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So, I mean, I guess
you can't even find it, by the way. It's like so secretive. It's like you Google it, his name change. It's like the Miller Hines version is a less common variation that has appeared lately, causing confusion, but his official name remains the same. And then it's like, It's been used in some articles, but it is widely recognized as his official name, just Naheem.
Well, it definitely confused me today because I started doing the slate plan. I was like, who is this dude? He's $200. Like, he's in play. He's the backup running back.
This guy on Twitter 2 months ago before the season. I'm not sure what's more shocking, the name change or that he's still playing in the NFL.
That actually could be the more surprising part. But it's the same thing. Like when these guys just add in like Deebo Samuel is now Deebo Samuel Sr. Like okay,
Robbie Chosen.
Yeah, exactly. But he is.
He actually almost had a touchdown.
He did. He's
still playing too.
He almost came back to our lives. Yeah, I don't know, but the name change stuff, that one definitely threw me off. But I didn't click on his name to see what the first name was. I went with N. Miller Hines, and now I know it's our boy from the Colts.
Put some respect on his actual full name tonight if he gets in the box. Naheem Miller Hines. Give him some credit.
It's Miller time.
Yeah, Miller time. Miller Hines.
Actually, it is. That is actually okay. This could be a little something because I'm in the my neighbor's basement, and his fridge in the basement is. I'm staring right at it, and me and him like to hammer back the beers. He goes, maybe it'll be a Miller time for the show. So hey, we're on to something now.
There you go.
We're on to something.
All right, it could be a little sign for tonight of what's to come, but maybe it's an opportunity. We'll see.
Maybe I'll have to crack a couple Miller Lights here during the show to get things started for us.
What do you think, Hoop? Anything else at quarterback you want to add? If not, you can start on more running back talk. We already added Vidal in there, but anything else you forgot about at quarterback?
Yeah, just definitely, as much Herbert as I can get. And then like Wentz, I don't know, it's just not going to be a priority for me. Like, on Justin Jefferson captain teams, Wentz makes sense. Addison captain teams, I think Wentz makes sense. But I don't know. You can't get overweight on everyone. And whatever I get of Wentz, I'm fine with. Running back is, pretty tough. I'd say, well, not tough. I mean, you have Vidal, who seems like a very, very strong play. They have nobody else. He'll catch passes. Like, I imagine if they're going to give it to a running back at the 2-yard line, it's going to be him. I think he does have a very secure role. I mean, the dude, the backup guy had to change his name to stay relevant. Like that should go to show you the status of the Chargers running backs today. So in on him, but kind of shitting on Mr. Miller Hines a little bit, but $200 potential backup running back. If Vidal goes down, he's now a primary running back at $200. So, it's definitely those two guys. The Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason thing, it's definitely tough. I mean, it's tough. I mean, I think Title talked about it well. Like, they're going to be, much lower owned than if one of them was out, obviously. But if you're expecting a high scoring game, I mean, it's probably tough to pay 8.6 for Jordan Mason. Aaron Jones at 6.6. We really haven't got any true indication in regards to what sort of role he's going to have. He wasn't very productive to start the season when healthy, so a lot of concern. But these are game theory plays. Like, if you're looking to build a roster that's going to look a little bit different, I think you got to look at like some of these guys versus the wide receivers. Like, Jordan Mason is in the same range, within 1,000 of Ladd, within 1,000 of Keenan, right there with Quentin Johnston, 1,200 within Jordan Addison. All those guys are going to be now much higher owned than Jordan Mason. And I haven't built teams. I don't know for sure what I'm going to do. Like, I could end up fading Jordan Mason, just not playing him at all. And same can be said with Aaron Jones. I don't necessarily love playing any of those guys, but they are game theory sort of plays. Like, the ownership is definitely going to be lower on these guys than all those wide receivers priced around them. So if you have a team that kind of makes sense, plugging those guys in instead of the pass catchers are going to be very different. And again, I don't know exactly what I'll do. I could fade both of them and just roll with it that way, because they're still going to get some ownership. We're showing, hopefully it's updated. Yeah, it is. We're showing 24% Jordan Mason, and then Aaron Jones right around 20. I think that's probably pretty fair. I think they're both probably in that range between 20 and 25. So if you don't play them, you're making a legitimate fade. And if you do play them, you're probably going to be a little bit different. So I think you can do it either way.
Yeah, I'll go to you in a sec, Title, and you can take this thought process I'm going to give and go with it, and then do your stuff at running back. But I'll say this, and if I wasn't clear on it up top, I'm actually still interested in Jordan Mason. You kind of said it after I said it. Now I remember you mentioning like it kind of works for both those guys, so much leverage in it. But the chat's talking about it's already a great matchup for Minnesota. They're only 3-point underdogs. I mean, Chargers can have some bad games, and that's a long-term sample of regardless of who's the coach, who's the team, who's whatever. It's like definitely a possibility, especially in a Thursday night football game where we've seen these things go crazy. But I will say, to Hoop's point, he nailed it there. Like, it's not like Jones was some crusher to start the season and wasn't coming out strong. And why do they just come back and ramp him right back up? So when it comes to that thought process, I don't think he's a guy, if we're unsure on Vidal, I can be damn sure on Mason that nobody's playing his ass in captain, like 5% or under up top. So I like Mason and captain definitely in the flex still. There's other things you can do. I haven't built teams yet to know where everything lands, but I will be clear on the fact that I'm definitely in on Mason tonight as an option, and we'll go from there. I mean, see what else happens. But what's your thoughts on Mason any further, and then anything else you want to add at the running back position?
I prefer both the more expensive, like what feels like the starting running backs to me. Vidal versus Hines. Like, I get Hines is 200, but I mean, we haven't seen this dude like on the field at all. Like, third down role at best, and I don't even think like crucial third down like spots in this game. I'm not confident that he's running on the field for Vidal when it's all said and done. So I get he's 200, but we have enough value on this slate. Like 3 points at 200, I don't think it's on the winner today. I don't think it's one of those slates. Whereas, like, again, that Falcons one is coming to mind. Whenever that was, that slate was, or Sunday night, that slate was super tough against the Niners. The value, the value was terrible. Where 2 was on the winner, I believe, Charlie Kohler. Like, this slate just doesn't feel like one of those spots. So I don't love Hines. Yes, he's 200. He might get a couple snaps, play a little bit. He'll be on my pool. Clearly like Vidal more, and I clearly like Mason more, even though he's more expensive. Like you said, it's not like Aaron Jones was really great when he was playing. I think Mason has been very good for him. Will be the early down back, will be the goal line back, which means Jones has to probably catch, 3-4 passes, maybe get in the box to really get there, because he has a real price tag. Like, he's around the McConkeys, he's around the Vidals, Keenan Allen, kind of Johnson, Gadsden's right there, Addison. Like, he has to have a real score in this one, and I just really don't like it. So I'd rather overspend Mason. I think Vidal is really strong, but I mean, if you're playing 60 plus teams, I do think having Hines and Jones, unless you're like Hoop. I mean, Hoop makes a lot more strong stands, I guess, than I do when I play more teams. I tell myself I'm playing more teams so I can get more stuff in my portfolio. The less teams I play, that I do it that way. But if you make a big stand with a lot of teams and you get it right, you can just say they're paying the rake. So there's a lot of different. That's why DFS is great. Everyone has their own strategy and stuff. But Hines or Vidal, Mason, clearly my favorite 2 running backs.
Yeah, shout out to my man Michael. I got a 2-second rant on this one. Certainly appreciate you supporting, and we do try and take our stands and do what we say. The good news is you can find us in the lobbies playing, and I want to spend 2 seconds on that. Is most of the DFS content creators you're watching are doing a lot of talking, not a lot of walking, not a lot of playing, not actually putting their money where their mouth is. So we do take a lot of pride in that. I know I'm pretty vulnerable, wear my heart on my sleeve when I talk about this stuff, but it matters to us. We especially think when people are signing up to SHIPIT Nation, they know that we get players that are in the streets. Rio is playing full-time. Our guy Bellman, who we just signed, is playing full-time. Title, me and Hoop are always playing, tons each week. And the rest of our team too. It's just noting it. We want to make sure that we're still teaching you how to play and not just who to play, and then let the content help you guide that, because it's your money, right? You're putting your money in. You want to make sure that you're getting it in the way you want, but then playing it in a way that can be profitable and with proven process and a way to make it your own. So really appreciate you supporting everybody that thinks that. We appreciate all the support of you guys coming through, but definitely wanted to say that, Hoop. I know, we talk about it at times. There's a lot of people that do a lot of talking, not a lot of walking, not a lot of playing.
Yeah, definitely agree with all that. And like, just not willing to say you're wrong when you're wrong. Like, I think that's one thing that we kind of pride ourselves on. If we get something wrong and it's, we took a big stand on it and made a big fuss about it on the show, you can usually count on the fact we'll come on here and take the L rather quickly. It's one thing I definitely pride myself on, and I know you guys do as well. Like, nobody's right every single time they make a stand. Like that's just not the reality of the situation. And this industry is the integrity for a lot of guys is really low at this point, and people barely hanging on by a thread in terms of playing and doing the content to go along with it. So just as I kind of said in the opening, be careful what you're signing up for, because a lot of it is false hope.
Yeah, Title took a spaghetti strap L immediately, and then homie jams 3 TDs, next very slate. Yeah, that's pretty crazy for sure. Judkins, we had that talk the other day, though. I think that was a lot of fun. That's what makes it great. I love working with these guys every day and being in business with them and just talking and friends. It's always a good fun. And Title's the man. He paid that off right away, immediately.
Yeah, never again. No crop top bets again.
Well, you can do it, but just don't give me the option. Just come in with a little. I mean, you gave me the spaghetti strap thing. Of course, I got to go spaghetti strap as soon as that's offered up.
That was good, man. Ryan's the man. That was funny. So yeah. All right, let's keep it moving. Hoop. Do you have any more running back takes? I mean, I added the Mason stuff in there. If you want anything with that, if not, you can take us to these wide receivers.
Just to add on to the Miller-Hines conversation, the Miller-Hines conversation, it's like, all right, what sort of ownership? Because I do think it's important. Like if he's a $200 guy and he's getting substantial ownership, I think it's fine to like not necessarily go there, but it's looking low. It could come up, but we're showing 6%. I think that's pretty reasonable. And these cheap guys have kind of been held in check. There hasn't been many slates where those cheap guys got like way up there in terms of ownership. So probably is still a low owned play, but you need to be careful, I guess, with how you build them, because a lot of the builds could look pretty similar. So
what do you want from them? Let's touch on that quick. Because
you need. It's one. The setup for sure on one of these guys is like, what can he do? Like, what's the ceiling realistic ceiling in terms of fantasy points? I think today you're looking for maybe like I don't know, like 10, maybe 12. Maybe he gets a fluke touchdown or he racks up 4 to 5 catches, which I think is possible. And then what do you need to go along with that? You need 5 guys to have a big night, but not absolutely nuke the slate. So that's kind of what you're looking for. Him to probably have around 10 and 5 guys to be between 20 and 25.
10.
So
yeah, he's plus 1,200 to score, and he doesn't even have a rushing or receiving. This dude might legit get like 6 snaps. Is my worry.
So were you going to go here with it though? Because I want to interject, because I think that's important to people to realize. It's a slate dynamic, right? It's even if he does that 8 points or something like that, I know that seems amazing for $200, but you still need all the other things. Like the build has to go that way. We talked earlier how there's like 5 to 10 builds that could start in the mid range that end up getting still like a 12 pointer out of another mid range guy, but it lets you get 5 other dudes in there that are not that. And so it could get overrode by that type of stuff, couldn't it?
Potentially. I mean, what sort of work? I mean, they'd have 2 running backs. I mean, that's they
might call someone up. I'd be on the lookout for that too.
So last week, I don't know when Haskins got hurt, but he had 2 catches and 1 rush attempt. And I don't know when he went out of that game, but they legit have 2 guys. I don't know. I'm more on the side, which is this is what the fun of all this stuff. We can talk through it and have different opinions. I think he just has the chance for more work. Like Vidal's already a backup. Like there's no way he gets all of it. So I think Hines could have a bigger role than we're thinking. Andy catches passes as well, so he has that out. He has the 2-minute drill out. Where if they have the ball at the end of the half and he's out there, he could be out there the entire drive, and Vidal sitting on the sideline. So I'm more in on it, especially if the ownership remains pretty low.
I think the other thing for me is just saying it again is like, okay, but the chat's already said it a bunch. You know what's going to happen. If you're playing him in the flex, who do you think your captain is? It's most likely going to be Herbert or Jefferson. And then it's like most likely the next 2 to 3 guys are the same guys. It's like, congrats. You backed yourself into a corner and you have a 1v1. So I'm definitely going to have him some. He's $200. I'm saying when I'm playing him, let me be more clear. When I'm playing him, it's more likely to be like leave a bunch of money on the table or build differently on purpose, because most that are building with him are going to have automatic one of those.
Don't do one of those dumb builds though. I mean, you know what the obvious build is if you play him in flex. I mean, just to go through.
You get him with Jefferson up top. Most people will want to put Wentz, Herbert. You still have almost 6,500. It's like whatever.
So it's like you got five. Yeah, you got him with 5 studs essentially, and someone up top, and yeah, you can basically zero it out with Jefferson and some of those guys. So it's like you need to. Yeah, I mean, if you're hand building, leave money on the table and make it all make sense. But I'm more in on them. I think you guys are.
I'm gonna be looking. Yeah, I'm gonna just. If they don't call up any backup running back, then I think I'll probably be a little more on hoops. Still don't love it as much. If they call up someone else, I'm getting even more worried. And if they don't call someone else up, then I bump both of them. And then I think Vidal is even a stronger play if he's not going to lose any early down work.
Yeah, the opposite, like the other thing to consider with this when you start looking at these options is there's like, I don't know, like 8 to 9 guys that can realistically get 18 and above fantasy points on the slate. So like there's probably like, again, who knows how this game plays out. I mean, we could have one of these just, dud Thursday games. Like it's definitely possible, but the argument against playing Miller Hines is the fact that there's just so many guys that can get to 18, 19, 20 fantasy points. And it's going to look like, a star-studded optimal team at the end. That seems like it could be this sort of slate.
Yeah, the cash lineup's going to come together just nicely for you tonight, Title. I can tell you that much from just plugging in some stuff there. It's very, very easy if you just do that and you basically land on the nuts. There's like 2 variations of it. So, yeah, it's the nuts for cash maybe, but for tournaments, it's, I think, worth thinking about those other factors. So at least makes it somewhat interesting. Let's keep it moving. Let's go to wide receiver hoop. I'll stay with you. And after wide receiver, we will announce who is going to be playing against Hoopster in the head-to-head this week. The Golden SHIPIT winner number 24 will be announced after we break down the wide receiver position. So make sure to smash the like, subscribe to the channel. Hoop, I'll kick it to you for wide receiver.
Yeah, I got to get back on track in the head-to-head, so I feel bad for whoever. Well, I don't feel bad because they're automatically in the final, but I feel bad that they're not going to get $250 extra dollars. We talked about all these wide receivers for the most part. Like, Jefferson, great play if you have the money. I really like Jordan Addison. I know, Title kind of opened up talking about him and Quentin Johnson. Those are 2 guys I definitely have my eye on tonight, and captain and flex, specifically captain, but I'm good with these guys in flex as well. I think they're both strong options. Ladd McConkey, Keenan Allen, both fine options. Like these top 5 wide receivers are all very viable options. It's tough, especially in the showdown format, to really poke holes into, why you want to play them. So I think they're all fine, all good. And is he back, Joe Alt? Because that is pretty big.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, that's huge.
Because they definitely have struggled to protect. So yeah, all these pass catchers are fine. You want to add in Naylor, Trey Harris, fine with that. I don't really think there's anything else. Adam Thielen, probably not for me, like especially with Addison back. Like I don't really love that. I don't love Trey Harris. Like I'd probably just be rolling these main dudes, and then probably Naylor, I guess, is the one I'll add in there. But it's a pretty clear position. And like I said, like Quentin and Jordan Addison are the ones that are kind of standing out because I think their ownership is a little bit lower than those other guys.
Yeah, Title, what are you thinking?
Yeah, not really much more to add. Like the other outside of the clear guys, the McConkeys, Keenans, whatever, like it's Trey Harris is wide receiver 4 on the Chargers, a rookie, and they have been getting him more involved at the expense of Keenan for the most part, since they run so much 11 personnel. If you want to mix someone in that has some upside, one play could be low ownership, sure. Like Naylor looks like the better play if you're going to go that route. Naylor's 36, Trey Harris is 3K. Like it's clearly Naylor's wide receiver 3 over Thielen. The problem is it's just so concentrated when they do drop back. It's either Jefferson is the one, like his first look, and then Addison second, or vice versa. But like the receiving props are double pretty much Naylor to Trey Harris. Trey Harris 8.5, Naylor 16.5. Touchdown prop Naylor 5 plus 550, Trey Harris plus 1,000. So I do prefer Naylor if choosing, since he's on the field more and the props are better. But neither of those I don't love them too much. It's just a way to get different down below. All of the other receivers are good. Like I love Addison, I love Jefferson, and QJ is my favorite if picking, but I don't feel strongly on the Chargers side. I mean, I said QJ was my favorite last week, and he was the worst one. You needed Keaton at the end of the day. And then we go to Gadsden at tight end. You could say he's a receiver almost at this point. So I do like the Addison Jefferson most at receiver because I think it's the most concentrated.
Yeah, you guys kind of covered this. The Naylor thing, I think it was maybe like last game we were seeing him mix into the bunch. He's still getting a ton of the snaps and all that. He seems to like him, so he's a way to get different. But, you have Josh Oliver when we get there in a second, my backup tight end option every showdown slate. He seems to get there. And then you've got Hawkinson, Addison, Jefferson for pass catchers in general. So it feels harder for him to break through and break in than some of the other spots. And Trey Harris on the other side would really crush, the spots of McConkey, Allen. Like if he gets going or does anything, that would be more hurtful because that side's going to have a bunch more ownership outside of just the two guys on Minnesota in Jefferson and Addison. So interesting to see how it shakes out. Going back to running back for a second, did you see anything on this Amar Johnson guy title?
No, I didn't. Who's that?
Yeah, it's just the other guy that is behind them. But I was just reading about it, and it was like in the preseason, he turned 22 carries into 115 yards, 2 touchdowns, 5.2 yards per attempt. And it looks like, I don't know, we'll have to see if he can get into the mix. It was talking about, I think he was on with Green Bay and then came over to the Chargers, but this would be the spot that it would be, they said. And so I don't know if they will call anybody. I think it'll just be him. This is a more recent article, so maybe it is just going to be him behind him. We got him there on the stone as well. So
yeah, I mean,
for the same $200, but obviously Hines would be the guy people land on. So just to note.
Yeah, I'll pay like 0.02. I don't think I'm really going to mess with too much of that stuff. And I think it makes me like Vidal even more. It really depends on just how you see the snap share. Like who thinks he'll get more work? If he does, he's 200.
And the Haskins usage wasn't super crazy anyway. So that was the other.
It was awful. I mean, he was.
I don't know when did he go out of the game though? When did he get injured?
25 snaps, and he had 1 rush and 2 catches.
But he played 25 snaps.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, he didn't get much work.
They were to be fair, they were trail. Like the game script was as bad as it could have got for Haskins stuff. Like that game script, if they get Hines is a pass catching back, but Vidal can catch passes too. I don't know. They just have so many studs out there. Is it really going to be your Miller Hines guy of Keenan, McConkey, Gadsden? Is it Hines doing it? Maybe. When you're right, you'll get paid off.
Yeah. Going to pay off that name change today, boys.
Hey, put some respect on the name. Which one?
You keep calling him Miller Hines. I keep laughing.
Yeah, you got to though, right? I mean, you got to go with the official name.
Yeah. What do you think of tight end, Hoop? We've got the Gadsden conversation in the chat. I mean, certainly a starting point. I think somebody posted it here earlier. Where's it at here? Yeah, shout to our man Alan Klutz. Says, anyone thinking that people will chase Gadsden this week and he comes in very chalky? Perfect setup. The Will Dissly backup touchdown game. What do you think about that thought?
I don't hate that. I mean, people took notice of Gadsden, I mean, literally just like last week for the most part. And then, of course, you got all these fucking best ball people that are going to victory. Oh, I told you he was the late round flyer that you needed this year in best ball. Like, he's the one. I've been saying it since July. You should have been following me and drafting him. Like, anytime a random dude goes off, like these best ball guys cannot resist. They literally can't resist. I told you this is the guy to take in round 38 of the best ball draft. Like I knew it was him. Like just sit this one out, guys. We get it. Anytime someone goes off, this is who you were pumping. Like I totally understand it. You don't have to do it every fucking time, but they do. But in regards to today's slate, people obviously took notice of the big game. I mean, he scored 32 fantasy points. Yes, that is going to increase his ownership today. We are showing, let's see, we're showing 30%. Yeah, it's probably right around there. So if people are looking at tight ends, TJ Hawkinson's ownership is probably lower, and I get it's just a flex thing. It's not like you have to play a tight end or whatever, but TJ Hawkinson's ownership is probably lower because of what Gadsden did. Will Dissly, I don't know if I'll necessarily get there just because they still have so many other dudes. They have all the wide receivers. They have the running backs that catch passes, including our boy Miller Hines. They got all these guys that can throw the ball to over a backup tight end. So with the Gadsden thing, I think he's a strong play. Like he's higher owned than I'd like him to be, but it is tough to ignore, especially in like Herbert captain teams where you kind of think he spreads it out and you're going to play Herbert with 2 pass catchers, like totally fine playing him there. But yeah, he's despite my rant, he's a very strong play. It has nothing to do with Gatson. I think he's fine. TJ Hawkinson's fine. And then, Josh Oliver, they always mix in. I don't mind getting a little bit of him.
Yeah, Josh Oliver, man, the backup guy for these showdown sites. Title, what are you thinking at tight end?
Yeah, I think Gadsden, he's elite. I mean, ever since week 3, his snaps have continued to go up. He's dominated the tight end room. I think it was last week, Will Dissly early, caught one with the face of his helmet. It's just awful. I believe it was 3rd down drop. He stinks. They just got no one. And Hawkinson, I think he stinks too. And the last time I said that, these old dusty tight ends, it was a Goddard day, and he absolutely buried me. I'm not going to take it that far, but it clearly gave me the young spry guy over this old Dusty Hawkinson, who's like the 4th read every play, it seems. Yeah, he needs to get in the box now. Yeah, I'll have some in the flex. I think Gadsden's elite play. Captain, flex, anything. You can easily leave money. Gadsden is cheaper than Johnston, Keenan, McConkey, Vidal, Addison, Aaron Jones, Mason. Would I be shocked if he outscored almost all of them? No, I wouldn't at the end of the day. I think he's a big part of this passing game for Herbert. So I think he's a great play in both flex and captain. And these Olivers, these Fiss, all these other dudes, they beat me, I think. I don't know if I want that.
All right, just getting my Hawkinson captain lineups in right now as we speak.
Smart. You're absolutely smart. That's it.
Isn't it tight end week or something?
Coming up on Sunday,
week?
yeah.
Is that last week?
It's starting on Sunday, not today.
Okay.
No, it is though. I think you're right. It is this week.
It is this week.
Yeah. So it officially starts tonight.
October.
Well, yeah. It's gonna. Gadsden will lead it off. You're right.
Let's get the Gadsden Dissly double dip with Herbert up top. Herbert, let's see, 300, 4 touchdowns, two to each of those dudes.
If you have a Herbert tight end running back lineup, even with Herbert at captain, no wide receivers. Sorry, that'd be a different way.
There you go. Right? Yeah, Gadsden and Vidal, or Gadsden and Miller Hines.
Or Miller Hines, yeah. Exactly.
If you ship with Hines, you got to get a jersey Miller Hines for sure.
That's what he wanted.
But it would have to be the
sponsorship money.
Yeah, it has to be the homemade version though. It's got to be you got to get one of the old Naheem Hines jerseys and just add Miller to the top somehow.
You're safe. At least we know that he ain't gonna do shit.
He needed to change his last name to Hines, like the ketchup, and go get the sponsorship that way, as opposed to Adam Miller. I can't get it with this last name. Let me get this one instead.
Let me see if I can get beer and ketchup combo. One of the two will bite.
Coach Sav said pivot to Oliver, and then got to shout out our man. Respondent said not a bad idea, but that is Brock Newsom, the 100K man from night 1 in the NBA. Shout out to Brock, getting him all set up with the winner's circle. He got everything done with that, and so appreciate him being with us. And yeah, he's been there since day 1. So congrats to him, founding family member, winning 100K plus, another one for the winner's circle. Love to see it. All right, defense and kickers. This is the best kicker, Dicker the kicker, man. We got the spot here. And then the chat was talking about Will Richard, as you could call him. But I don't even know how to actually say Reichard, I think is his real name. But Will Richard, man. Duct tape part of a Miller Lite box in New Jersey.
Right. So get the Miller Lite version and then put it right above the Heinz. And now we're talking. Now we're making progress.
That's a G Rising thing to do.
G Rising, yeah. And get them sporting that out at the campgrounds. Fit right in.
Did you ever have ketchup chips before, by the way?
Ketchup Lay's? No.
Yeah, have you ever had? It's a big popular thing in Canada. I know we all food takes at the very end, but I'm curious, have you ever had, because I think it's at least popular in Canada. I don't you see them everywhere, but do you guys have these?
No, it sounds awful.
I don't know if I tried it once or I've seen it.
Lay's
so many flavors.
Makes them.
Yeah, they have so many flavors. Lay's does. Can't be bad.
Title eats too healthy. He doesn't eat potato chips. Title doesn't eat chips.
No, man. Title eats some snacks, man. He'll have.
No, you're actually right. I really hardly eat any snacks.
Yeah, one day a week when he decides he's going to cheat.
Our man BG says legit for losers like me. So the kids love them, but the problem is they make your fingers so red, and then they run around trying to touch everything, and it's oh my god, man! We can't have around them. Let's just get rid of them completely.
Yeah.
Don't let them get in your office and have those chips.
Yeah, that's a bad setup there.
No. All right, I had to check it in. Kickers and D's. We'll get off the chips.
Just don't get involved in that Chauncey Billups game, and title will be all set.
Gosh.
I stay away
from these home games. You never know. Scary stuff.
It is crazy. We didn't really talk about it, but it is absolutely wild that the stories around this game. But they said people were like streaming about it like years ago, like knowing to stay away from these games.
I mean, it's just how much money, like, I don't know, like addiction I get and stuff, but you have all the money, you have everything you need. What is getting in this game or like helping to get more money?
You want to know what I don't know. They're gambling addicts, man. Look at
that's what it is, addiction.
And said he had like 43 million owing. Like these guys, the thing is they don't know what money is because they have so much of it. So when it's like 500K for a bet, it just feels like, I got millions. What's 500K? It's like, that's insanity to be betting. Right. Even like the best poker players, you were talking the poker analogies and stuff. I remember the old high stakes cash games. You'd see it on some of their faces when they're in that game and they're probably backed in the first place. And then it's like, well, shit, now I got 500K in makeup because I just tried to go against Phil Ivey and got dusted. And his bankroll is, I'll tell you what, it's not, I mean, Hoop was in this game for a long time in the cash streets and the high stakes stuff, playing these big three-way. Like, you want to take on these names and talk shit to them? Go ahead. But they all the money they're playing with is people like you that they've taken it from for years. And so
and the three man, you better hope that's a real thing too. I mean, you could go on Empire through some tweets out.
You just never know. That was all legit. I mean, Empire, and that stuff was very, very legit and cost me a shit ton of money too. But it's like I got scammed out of a lot of money in those three mans. But it's like, what's my recourse? How can I truly prove it? There's no way I can prove it in the court of law what happened. There's literally no way. You have to be in the gambling space you have to be in the DFS space. You got to understand the ins and outs of what these guys were doing in these high stakes three mans. Empire was very right. I mean, I had lost probably somewhere in the range of 6 figures in those games, and he probably lost 7 figures, maybe 8 figures in those games. And what's his recourse? There really is none. So it sucks, and you're gonna find cheaters and scammers in all walks of life. Unfortunately, that's how things go.
People do a lot of things for money, man. That's the thing. So you got to remember that, and it's tough. You can't trust a lot of those games. So just the point being is like it's always a risk, but I think that's what it is, Title. I think people just play outside their means. I know we get people bankroll management contest selection. I get it. Let me just load up. But sometimes those same people they're just firing away. Let me just deposit again, like everything.
The goalpost never ends for some. You can have millions of dollars and you can blow millions of dollars in DFS. Trust me. You can look at all those contests they put up, and they got daily in all these sports. I'm not going to say it's not hard to do.
Jaguars.
Yeah, the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, I like that guy. He was taking a lot of my high stakes MMA.
Same. That was
FanDuel. That dude was generous.
He offset some of the scam money I got in those high stakes three mans. He definitely offset some of it. But it's a wild world out there.
Yeah. Just do it the right way.
I think we might as well end it on that because we were talking kickers and D's, but I think it's kind of spread out tonight. Is there anything you have to add on that, Hoop, or want to go through?
I mean, 2 very viable kickers. I mean, kicker the dicker, or kicker the dicker the kicker, and then Will Richard. I mean, both these guys are solid DFS kickers. I want exposure to both. I don't know. I'll do the same thing. I hate even talking about defense because it's very rare where my strategy changes on it. Just like whatever I get, and that's kind of what I'll be doing tonight.
I almost got the unique the other night with 2 defenses, same lineup.
That is one way. That's definitely one way to get unique. That's definitely one way.
A way to get unique. It just
Seahawks
pops up
D
in some
got
cases.
robbed too. Oh my gosh, Seahawks D should have had the safety. There was the fumble. You might have been in bed by this time, Tambo. Oh my gosh. If you saw a picture, a snapshot, it was a fumble by Stroud. Literally, the ball was on like the 5-yard line, and there was 4 Seahawks going, and somehow nothing happened. It was a 5-yard penalty. The craziest, you'll have to look it up, the craziest situation.
You didn't want to know that night how shit would have happened. Nobody told me that all week. I just knew that I had
This was earlier in the game. It could have changed so much, like
butterfly effect,
that way. But the craziest thing wasn't a safety. It was a 5-yard penalty, like a touchback. I don't even know what I was watching, but yeah.
Yeah. What was I going to say? You just reminded me of something else. Rosier thing. I don't know. Keep going. You're good. Kickers and D's. Anything else you want to add?
No, not really. I mean, if I had to pick or defense, I think I prefer Chargers. Carson Wentz more of a statue, but so much random stuff. It helps you get different. Quick thing at FanDuel, I just noticed the one big difference, like Gadsden is $8K. So they priced him up a lot more on FanDuel. Like he's more expensive than McConkey, right in that same range, I guess, of Addison, Vidal stuff. So just looking at that, kickers, I think, will be even more popular. Like they offer a lot of value over there. And then you do have Hines, min price at 1K. If people do go down below, it feels like a lot more of a dead range from like the 3.5K to the min price, which I do think has a little more ownership on him. So that's all.
Why will you say Tesla 100 times, but not say Miller Hines and put some respect on his new name?
Yeah, you gotta put some respect on that name, man.
If that dude gets out there scores more than 4 points, I'll call him Miller Hines from moving forward.
Deal.
This is like personal, but did Maddie change her name?
Yeah.
Right. So what if someone came in calling her a maiden? You'd be getting on that, right? You'd be like, hey, that's not technically this. Now you got to put this guy changed his maiden up. You got to give him respect title.
Yeah, maybe. I probably wouldn't care.
He's going to be telling you, man, but got to put some respect on this guy's name when he buys some jerseys.
The other thing on FanDuel, there's one other was McConkey's like really cheap over there.
Yeah, he's cheaper than Gadsden.
Yeah, 7,800 for McConkey. Yeah, it's like way cheaper than McConkey's cheaper
10-6.
than Gadsden. Yeah,
he's basically his DraftKings price on FanDuel.
Which is
like, come
wild.
on.
Yeah,
what are we doing over there? But anyway, that tells you right away. Just you can leave a bunch of money. I know a lot of people will try and make that bump up everywhere else. Just use him as the guy and just build like your best Keenan Allen lineup and just bang, put McConkey in it and leave all that money. That's what we've seen actually a bunch of solo shippers too over on FanDuel this year with the new structure, of course. But I'll tell you what, when I look at them, it's almost always just $4,000 on the table or $3,000. It's like amazing. It's an amazing lineup. You're like, what? How the hell is that the one? But then you do the math and you're like, oh, there it is. It's like 52.9 or 56 or something like that instead of the 60K. So that's what does it. And this is a prime example where you could do it. Instead, most are going to use McConkey to bulk up everywhere else, build your best Keenan Allen, and then just drop it down to McConkey. It's just one example of how you can get different. And I'm calling that kicker. I know his name's Will Reichard, but I'm calling him Will SHIPIT Nation Rocket, like Hoops at Richard, the Rocket Richard tonight. He's going to be a good option, I think. And I think most people like Dicker the kicker, home favorite. Similar price point. If you're not on Gadsden or if you don't have the money for Gadsden, I'll just plug in Dicker instead. He kicks a bunch. He's great. He makes perfect sense. I'm just saying the opposite side for 5K flat, I think is interesting as well. And I don't think it's going to be like some huge ownership discount, but there's definitely thoughts of people going to Gadsden there. And then if not being on Gadsden, landing on Dicker. So I think that's definitely a possibility going to Will Rocket Richard on the other side. Title, any final thoughts from you, man?
No, fun show. I mean, we got some NBA tonight, only 2 games, but we got some football. We got baseball tomorrow. We got college football, NHL. We got everything going on. So, yeah, we talk bankroll management. If there's any time of the year to have bankroll management, it is no doubt this time. But, yeah, find where your edge is. Are you better at Showdown? Are you better at main slate? Are you better at 2 games? Are you better at 6 games? 10? Like, really find your niche. There's so much going on and allocate your bankroll accordingly. So, yeah, good luck. Stay in the game. It's a lot of people watching. I mean, we do it professionally. We do it all that, but you have to have fun with it at the end of the day too. Once you start stressing over the daily losses or it gets to a mental game or affects when you wake up, your fan like that, then you really got to dial it back a bit. So yeah, just enjoy it. It's a fun game we play.
Yeah, excellent advice. And I think the pick a lane thing, like we talk about it all the time, but it is so true. And like some people don't. Again, it's not everyone plays full time. So they're not thinking about it from that perspective. But oftentimes, like, I was saying in the Discord to someone the other day, they said, oh, I've done much better on Showdown and on short slates. I'm like, yeah, it's correlated or PGA Showdown. Yeah, it's smaller player pool sizes to start with. You're already dealing with a smaller player pool. Then once you cut it down, so you feel better about it. What gets overwhelming is like an NBA slate like last night, why the community is so important to Hoop's perspective of you need that sort of angle of everyone letting you know these things. When there's a ton of value plays and a ton of different options and a full main slate, sometimes it is a way that you can still get action, get volume, and then play it in an afternoon only slate with 4 games, and it's less decisions to be made. It's better to work with. Then you can use that as foundation to build out from, which will make you a better player for those bigger slates and be able to take them on. You don't have to skip it. You could throw a lineup into the main slate still and work on your game, but it's just part of it, right? You always want to be working on something. I love that advice from Title Hoop. Any final thoughts from you, my man?
Yeah, good advice from you guys for sure. It's like, if you're stronger at showdown, stronger at shorter slates, focus on that. Like, don't be ashamed to sit out the main slate because the prize pools are so big. I mean, stay in your lane, stick with what's been working, and don't feel obligated to play certain contests. It's very, important, like long term. If you're good at showdown, play showdown. Like, you don't have to grind every single slate every single day. If you're better at 3-game NBA slates instead of the full 12, play the late slates or play the Thursday slates or the other day that's slow, usually on Tuesdays. Like, stick with what works and play to your strengths.
Yeah, ask questions. That's what the Discord's all about. Even with the 5-day trial you get with Chip 19, you can get into the Discord, check it all out. Ask questions, be around people that are grinding towards the same goals, like-minded individuals. It's a lot of fun. Speaking of fun, we got and hopefully you're good at head-to-heads. Because if you're not, you're going up against one of the best. 6-1 record on the line this week. Hoopster, the Golden SHIPIT winner of Golden SHIPIT number 24 for the head-to-head against Hoopster. The winner is Jesse Samick.
Nice.
Jesse Samick is winner number 24 of 50. So 26 tickets remain. We'll have the next one in just a second. And then we've got the others playing for that. The name looks familiar to me.
Yeah, the unfortunate part for him is like 24 is my number. That was like my basketball number. Like 24 is my number. So it's I'm gonna put in a little extra work this week on the head-to-head.
Longer than this?
Yeah. Thank you. God, perfect segue right there.
In week 1, who put in about 10 seconds to beat our guy Nades in a head-to-head. So just want to make sure we remind you that.
The worst part about that whole bit is Nades tried following it up saying like he built his team on the shitter. Like, get out of here. Like, as soon as I say it took me 10 seconds, you just back down and just let it be. You can't try to one-up me on the amount of effort you put into the team. Like, that's not how that argument works.
All right, Jesse, good for you. Congrats. It's going to be a battle with Hoopster, but either way, you are in the round 1 of the SHIPIT Games, first ever NFL SHIPIT Games, where you're in the finals, where you will play down from the top 50. You already get a min cash prize. You already get a guaranteed month of ultimate at the end of the season for SaberSim with SHIPIT Nation Connection. You get a bunch from that. We're trying to grow the pool as much as we can. But the round 1 will be featured week 17, none of the week 18 extra bullshit. There's always something even in week 17, but at least it's a better slate. The top 10 of the 50 Golden SHIPIT winners will move on to week 1 of the NFL playoffs for whatever the main slate is that week and play for what's currently a $20,000 cash first prize plus a $4,800 annual 1-year SHIPIT Ultimate / SaberSim Pass. Second gets the same plus 10 grand. Third gets the same plus 5 grand. And the prizes down from there. You can see them over at shipitnation.com and just click the banner up top, or shipitgames.com and see all the breakdown there. So congrats to Jesse, winner number 24. Winner number 25. And this is a share-ship this week. Last week was my number 22. We talked about who yours is 24. This week we're on number 25. The winner of the share-ship that will build a lineup this week, I think it's the 333 is back with 200K up top. So the winner is Joel Nichols. Joel Nichols, congrats to you. You are the winner, number 25 Golden SHIPIT ticket. And number 26 will be decided. You guys, if you're a member, make sure you check your email for this week's version where you get the Golden Shipper contest. I think I saw 103 of the 200 spots filled already, but there's 199. Get into it. And then myself, that's how it's going to be. But the other setup is, one more note, is last week, Hoop. I got the Golden SHIPIT, but I can't win. My core lineup and everything, that was what I used. I use what I say what I play, and that was part of it. And it won that. But our man, Robert J., ended up being the second place. So he actually got the Golden SHIPIT. But it's still fun to say I won one, so I don't get to keep it.
Yeah. That is interesting. The other thing, I'm a little bit disappointed because, you're a guy with all the sayings and rhymes and all that. I mean, there's got to be something there turning Nichols into Like there's something there. I'm just not smart enough to put it together. I thought you were going to be on something like that.
No, you want to turn it into a lot more than whatever rhymes with nickels. That's the thing.
That's the problem. I couldn't find it. I was going to say something. I couldn't come up with anything that rhymes with nickels, but there's got to be something there. Maybe someone in the chat will get us something on the way out. We're going to turn nickels into something.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't have it this week, but I appreciate that. You're always looking for those one-liners. We still got.
Yeah, I tried.
Now Hoop's looking for them, so it's perfect. Brock said he's running hot. Not only did he win the 114K in NBA on night 1, but he says he got his email. So he said, well, it feels like I'm running hot now. Well, that's what I was going to say. Coach Sav got it, but like, what are you doing with pickles?
Yeah, we need something more than pickles.
Yeah, we'll have to come up with it. Maybe we'll think about it for the weekend. We'll be back. We got a lot of shows. We got the cash game show, MMA show coming up. I think is tonight, right? Title. You guys will have that. We've got college football. We've got the Leverage Lane on Saturday. We'll be back on Sunday with the main slate show with the same crew that you see here now. So there's a lot of good stuff coming up. Make sure if you like this stuff that you like this, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. That's going to do it for this one, guys. For Title, for Hoop, and for myself, ToeTagginTambo. Let's ship it.